Yo, what's going on, everybody? Today is Monday, July 28th, 2025. Bitcoin block height 907,578. Transaction fees 1 sat per VByte, low and medium priority. 2 sats per VByte, high priority. 60,600 unconfirmed transactions in this mempool. Looks like we're starting to see some on-chain Bitcoin activity. Last couple of days, we've seen some transactions hanging out in the mempool space. Mempool. Bitcoin USD price. And that's something I learned too, right? There is no the mempool, right? There's no the mempool. It's your node's mempool. It's your mempool. That's one of the cool things about Bitcoin. There is no one solidified mempool. So that's why I always say in this mempool. We're learning as we go. Bitcoin USD price 118,853 US pieces of paper. 24-hour. Whoops. We're not on the 24-hour, we're on the 7-day. 24-hour high was 119,839. 24-hour low, 118,197. $1 gets you 842 Satoshis. Bitcoin Spaces protocol, 1.5075. Total Bitcoin burned, 7,968 bids, 2,405 transfers and registers, and 2,501 rollouts. All right, 2,500 names have been rolled out now. 2,500. I think that's a milestone. The first milestone was 100. Was I here for 100? I had to check the date and see if I was in Spaces protocol when 100 names rolled out, but that was a big deal. 1,000 names rolled out was a big deal. 1 total Bitcoin burned was a big deal. Now we got 1.5 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin. Those will be big deals too. Donations to the Bitcoin network, like Satoshi said, a donation to all Bitcoin holders. When you burn your Bitcoin, when you lose your Bitcoin, when you take Bitcoin out of circulation. Now look, Bitcoin is extremely valuable. We don't take this shit lightly, man, just burning Bitcoin, and neither should you. Nobody should. It's extremely valuable. So the fact that people are coming in here and forever burning their coins to have human readable public keys naming on Bitcoin just goes to show you how valuable these names are. Spaces in auction. KG, PT, some Puni codes, and some more Puni codes. So somebody rolled out a bunch of emojis here. Pretty crazy too, that you could just have emojis as Bitcoin wallet addresses. This is going to be cool. This is definitely going to be cool where people are sending a Bitcoin transaction to a king emoji. And look, it looks like he rolled out a bunch of kings. They just have different skin colors. Is that what this is? Yeah, that's what it is. That even a king? What kind of crown is that, dude? It looks like a crown, but he's got some hair under it. What? I think it is. It's a crown and he's got like a wave. Got some hair under it. So we'll see. I think the names will definitely be valuable. The emojis, we'll see. I'm not so sure. I'm not sold on these emojis just yet because certain browsers. Okay, so here's a perfect example. These kings, they resolve. I can see the little king icon, the little emoji. But some of these Puni codes, XN-, they don't resolve to pictures. They're just letters. Sometimes it's a question mark. Is that what it's supposed to be? You know, I don't even know. Is it supposed to be NO? Maybe it is. Maybe there's Puni codes that are letters. I'm not too familiar with Puni codes. I just started learning about them here when I got into Spaces Protocol. But for me, hey, it's cool. But for me, I like the names. You know, you can have your name. And it helps with privacy too, because you can have all the subspaces on top of your name. So once you own one of these top level domains, you can own all the subspaces. Pretty interesting. Recent Spaces actions, some transfers on more emojis. Emojis popular this morning in Spaces Protocol. Baby and another Puni code. And we saw 2 bids on MP4 and VG. I saw VG getting some love here. Multiple bids on VG. 6 total events, 5 total bids. Started at 1,000 Satoshis, and now it's currently sitting at 5,000 Satoshis. So, not a huge deal. You know, a lot of these names are pretty cheap right now. 5,000 Satoshis is approximately like $5-6. It's easy to equate when the USD price of Bitcoin is $100,000, because then you could just say, okay, 5,000 Satoshis, that's $5. 3,000 Satoshis, that's $3. But now it's like 118, 120. It's starting to get a little harder. Once it goes up to 200, it's going to be harder. I think the next easy USD to Bitcoin price correlation will be when Bitcoin gets to $1 million US. And at that point, will we still use the US dollar? Yeah, I think so. I think the US dollar will be around for a while. It probably won't go away until, I don't know, if I had to guess, probably like once we get at maybe like 15 million, something like that, past 10 million. Once we get one Bitcoin worth past 10 million, 15, 20 million, then it's going to be like, okay, what are we doing here, guys? What are we even pricing or pegging, or why do we even care about 10 million? Just pay me in Bitcoin. You know, it's kind of like what all these companies do that just have a business and they accept Bitcoin. Just pay me in Bitcoin. It's the opposite of what these Bitcoin treasury companies are doing. The Bitcoin treasury companies, they're trying to hold on to the legacy financial system with the dollars and buy my stocks. And hey, I like Bitcoin. I bought a bunch of Bitcoin. Now I'm going to issue these stocks. You should buy these stocks because I like Bitcoin. You know, that's silly. Spaces Protocol is cool because it's building directly on Bitcoin. BTC is the currency. No US dollars, no none of that stuff. You want to bid on a name, you want to own a human readable public key, an address, a permissionless identity. It's all Bitcoin. You have to be in Satoshis. You got to be on the Bitcoin blockchain. You got to run your own node. You got to be in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Bitcoin doesn't even know about the US financial rails or any of these Swift systems or anything like that. Right? Bitcoin is its own network, independent. That's one of the beautiful things about Bitcoin. And projects like Spaces Protocol that builds directly on Bitcoin, uses Bitcoin directly. That's the future. That's where I want to be. I want to be on networks that are Bitcoin only, and you're transacting on the Bitcoin blockchain. Everything's Bitcoin. You got inputs, outputs, you got block heights, you got Satoshis, you got bytes of data going in and out. You got all these things going on, man. It's a lot of fun. It's interesting too, and there's a lot to learn. All right, let's take a look at the recent rollouts in Spaces Protocol. We saw YZBF, another Puni code, key pair, ATM, RT, BS, OR, or BX, BV. So again, we're continuously seeing Puni codes and double digits. People are rolling out the double digits. Like I said, there's only like 636, I think the number was, combinations, possible combinations, 2-digit combinations. If you include letters, maybe there's a little bit more. I mean, numbers. If you include numbers, maybe there's a little bit more. Not 100% sure, but all the 2 digits now, there's like 600 of them, and only 2,500 names are rolled out. So there's still a lot of double-digit names, and people are just rolling them out. Upcoming rollouts, 114, Seed, emoji of a building, a kiwi emoji, HN, Here's one right here. This is the Puni code. Like, it's a question mark. Is it supposed to be a question mark? No, I don't know. Is the emoji that this XN-S39H represents, is it just not resolving somehow? I'm not sure. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I'm slightly intrigued about the emojis here, using an emoji as a Bitcoin wallet address, but I'm not really sold on it. I'm not excited about it like I am with the human readable names, but I think it might be cool. But then when you got the skin tones and stuff, it's like, oh, I sent it to the pale prince. Oh, bro, I was the dark prince. You know, I mean, shit. I guess you can fat finger a name too when you're typing in, you know, FHE. It was like, oh, it wasn't FHE, bro. It was FEH. I guess you could do that too. Either way, it's a lot easier with Spaces Protocol to send and receive Bitcoin with these short names rather than sending out a long string, a long BC1Q address. You got all these characters. You got to check everything. And believe me, I've done it. I've sent transactions where I typed in each character, each digit of the Bitcoin address one by one into the software, one by one into my hardware on the device. Like, damn, this shit's taking forever. Typed it into a mempool, looking at it, you know, but it's a lot harder to mess up a 2-digit, 3-digit, 10-digit Bitcoin wallet address compared to a 20-digit, 30-digit, whatever the length of them are currently. They're super long. And this works with Nostr npubs too, where that's something I just don't think a lot of people realize it, where Nostr's cool, but the reliance on ICANN DNS with Nostr, you know, all the names on Nostr, even primal.net, which is a popular Nostr website, relies on ICANN. And even spacesprotocol.org relies on ICANN and DNS, HTTPS. You know, that's someone else's key sign-in for you. Why should someone else's key sign for your name, for your identity? It should all be done on Bitcoin. And that's what Spaces Protocol does. That's why I said, too, the biggest flex that Spaces Protocol can make once they finish this protocol and the development of it and the subspaces come out, because this is still under development, but people are just speculating right now, scooping up these names. But once it's fully developed and Spaces Protocol moves their websites actually to a Spaces site that resolves through Spaces Protocol, Bitcoin, that's when it's going to be a major flex, you know? That's when really we're going to start seeing some traction, I think, once we start using it. Because right now it's all speculation. You can't really use it yet. Everyone's just scooping up these names, bidding on these names, speculating that they're going to be valuable. Protocol still under development. Only 2,500 names rolled out. Still super early. Rolled out in November. And I started reading about it. I think I heard about it on Robert. Yeah, I definitely heard about it on Robin Sayers' podcast. And that was like November. I mean, December. That was like December last year. So about 7 months here. Chilling. So the other upcoming rollouts, we got FG and IMG. Taking a look at spaces.market. This is the Spaces Protocol marketplace. Secondary marketplace where you could just buy and sell and trade Bitcoin Spaces directly. Latest listings: Sugar, Yellow, Collect, Oxygen, Java, XXX, GS, MP, and Grape. All right, that's going to be it for this one. Thank y'all for watching.